How you doing, guys? So, we are finally going to talk about this piece of shit movie. Okay, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which they built up way too much hype for. And this movie is a mess. It has a bunch of plots that are never even done or never finished. This movie absolutely destroyed their chances of even making a third one. And what you don't want to do with a movie is you never ever want to just rush it. You never want to rush a movie. You never want to feel like you have to rush it so you can get to the third one. Because then that's what fucks your movie up, and then you can't get the money back, and you can't get the budget to make the third one, and you screw yourself, and nobody likes it. So let's just jump right into it. It starts out with, again, kind of the beginning scene of when his parents are leaving him at his aunt and uncle's, and you kind of sitting there and you kind of think you're kind of having the same feelings like the first movie, but it's like it shows a couple different scenes, but it's majority the same thing, except the part where they are leaving, they're on this plane, and then they get jumped by this asshole who I don't even know who he is. People say he's Hydra. People said that he's Russian. People said he's this and that. I don't know. I don't know what it was. Probably Hydra, because Hydra was probably one of the biggest enemies to S.H.I.E.L.D. as an organization. So that's what I think it is. I don't know. So they get killed because their plane gets crashed. And then that jumps over to Spider-Man coming down, iconic symbol on his back. He's flying through the air. He's web slinging officially, finally, just going crazy, getting around. He's like saying hi to the pedestrians. He's acting like Spider-Man. This is the one thing that Andrew Garfield gets right. Is he acts like Spider-Man. He's talking to the people. He's happy with them. He enjoys them. He protects them, because then it jumps into a fight scene on a truck. With the guy who plays the Rhino, and I'm not going to even say his name because it's ridiculous. So then he's getting this truck, and then there's a bunch of these like little ISO things or whatever they are. I have no idea what they are. They're like, but they're from Oscorp. How about that? And these things, like, I don't know what they were, but I would have loved to see one just crack, to see what would happen. Because I was sitting there like, what does it do? I don't know what it does. That would have been a great plot user, being like, hey, what does this do? We gotta watch this. We gotta see what it does, you know? Then one probably gets on the street, cracks open, does something to somebody or something. They never do that. He gets everything up. He webs it up, gets it to the cops. He makes fun of the soon-to-be Rhino, which probably should have opened with, at least. I don't know. The Rhino fight. Okay, so then we skip over to where Gwen and him are still together. They graduate college. They go to have dinner, and then they break up, and then something about they are breaking up again, probably from the first movie. They should have stayed broken up, because you got her, because he, in this movie, is trying to make you feel like Spider-Man is responsible, which he kind of is, which they shouldn't have done. So he's responsible for the death. Gwen, I don't know why he would have been with him again, is with him again, was with him again, now they broke up again. You can't follow it. You can't follow it. And so then I guess you kind of see parts where he's just kind of stalking her, like he's just kind of up in the buildings, like kind of like watching her, missing her, I guess, which is stupid, because I don't get it, because then there's that scene where he's just kind of looking at her down, and then he's seeing a building explode, or he's seeing something on fire, or the sirens blaring, and then he's like looking like he's trying to choose something right now, which is ridiculous, because that's basically the plot of number 2, Spider-Man 2 from 2004, about Spider-Man and MJ trying to figure out if he should be, Peter Parker should be trying to figure out if he should be with Mary Jane by giving up Spider-Man, or should he just stay Spider-Man and give her up completely? That would have been a great thing to do too, but they didn't do it. They just kind of kept it, make you question it, and it didn't work again. So then we jump over to the guy who plays Electro, and I don't know. I felt like his character was a little over exaggerated with as far as like it wasn't exactly played right. I know that was not comic. I don't think that was comic book accurate. I don't remember. I'm still trying to figure out what Sony was trying to do with the Spider-Man, still the Amazing one, because it should have been Ultimate, because Ultimate is the one with the robot Rhino. Ultimate is the one with the blue Electro. Ultimate is the one that's Ultimate. That's Ultimate Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man is when he's a little kid. He's still fighting the big bad guys, and it doesn't work for me. It completely blows me off. Anyway, point is, he's obsessed with Spider-Man, and so then when he finally gets his abilities, and he's freaking out about it, and in Times Square, he didn't recognize him, so he got mad at him, I guess. How is anybody going to recognize you? I mean, you're freaking blue and glowy and have electrocution coming out of your hands. Not the same guy saved on the street this morning, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. I mean, you can argue that was alright, but it wasn't good. It wasn't good. It didn't play right. And then you get a stupid fight scene with those two for no freaking reason. The only reason why is because he's Electro and he's Spider-Man, and they're supposed to clash because we're Sony. Fuck you, everybody. He beats him, of course. And there's not much to say about this video. And then again, it tries to go back to him trying to figure out who his parents were, what did they do to die. He's trying to figure out this whole big stupid story about his parents and what happened to them. And then we get a deleted scene where he does meet his dad. Apparently his dad lived, which doesn't make sense. His dad didn't live. That fucking plane crashed and blew up. You got a parachute in that bitch? No, he's dead, man. I'm telling you, he even looked like he gave up in that scene after he uploaded whatever. And even whatever they uploaded, they never discuss what it was. They don't explain what it was he was trying to hide. It didn't make sense. It didn't work. You're trying to make too many different stories and plots that don't ever mix. They don't ever web connect each other. Pun intended. Because they don't connect. None of this makes sense to the core of the movie. It doesn't work. It's like you cut it off with your knife, and then you focused on making this movie, and the only ones you left in was Spider-Man, and that's it. That's the one thing you left in. Everything else you cut off. Okay. And then we finally see in this movie Harry. And Harry, oh my god. He's like that little piece of shit that you want to punch in the face. He's so annoying. Oh my god, you know. Shut up. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. People have these problems. You are a millionaire. You are a billionaire. And you're sitting there, you're bitching right now? Are you fucking serious? I wouldn't be bitching. I'd be spending money. You fucking idiot. And, you know, they try with this, even this relationship between these two. It was okay. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't the best either, like the first one had of 2002, 2004, 2007. Those were the ones that made sense. This one did not make sense. They threw it in there for him to turn into the Hobgoblin. He's supposed to be the Hobgoblin because Harry plays as the Hobgoblin. But here's what they did. They played it to where he's the Green Goblin. No, it didn't work. And you know what they should have done instead of killing off his dad? Make him into the Goblin. Make him the ultimate Goblin, the one where he's all big and he's muscly and he's got fire coming out of his hands and he's just fucking throwing and blowing everything up. That'd be pretty fucking cool, right? No, you don't get that. Instead, you get a stupid boss scene at the end where Spider-Man and her before that get back together because she was going to leave for London apparently. And then he says that I'm going to go to London with you? Are you fucking serious? Okay, are you serious? This movie is about Spider-Man, and he has this responsibility to save the city and protect it because of the responsibility he feels about the death of his uncle. This movie does not care about it. This movie brushes it off. Oh yeah, I'm going to go to London with you and leave my city to whatever is at stake. Big rhino motherfuckers, Electro guys, freaking Green Goblins. No! Whoever wrote this was a complete idiot. You don't read no comic books. He wouldn't do that. I mean, I have read the new ones. The new ones kind of piss me off. But I get it. He's a businessman now in the comic books. He's a businessman. And he has this big old industry. It makes sense for him to leave for a little bit, just to do a deal or whatever. Makes sense. This doesn't. This didn't work. This sucked. Ass. Okay, so Sony's sitting there like thinking, we just fucked up by writing this. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut that one off too. How are we gonna cut it off? By killing Gwen. Killing Emma Stone's character off. And then, so how that happens is, after the big fight with Electro, Gwen helps him out with that one. Green Goblin comes, Harry comes, he recognizes him right away. He recognizes Harry right away. Somehow, Harry recognizes that it's Peter right away. Because he sees Gwen. I guess it makes sense because you're connecting the dots. So that one was alright. It wasn't terrible. But then he immediately grabs her and flies up in the sky, and Spider-Man's getting up there, and then there's that scene in this bell tower, I think, and they're just fighting, they're going at it. This is the part where it's like Spider-Man should not be, because he's got her on a web right now, and he's got her just hanging on for dear life when there's a bunch of machines that could cut that thing at any time. So he's fighting Goblin. This is what I'm sitting here thinking. Don't pull your punches. Knock this son of a bitch out. Knock him out as hard as you can. This did not make sense. He's sitting there, he's fighting this guy. He's sitting there trying to make sure she's okay. What you want to do, Spidey, is you want to make sure when you have her, put it somewhere. Make sure it's... Figure out in your mind how much time you have to save her from getting hurt. And think about how hard you need to hit him. Knock him the fuck out. Hit him as hard as you can. Listen, here's what people don't understand. Spider-Man is stronger than you think he is. Okay, there have been at least 2, 3, 4, 5 or more times where he has lifted just heavy ass objects to the point where his suit just stretches out, and his whole his muscles grow. His muscles were just grow, and then he gets stronger, and he's able to lift whatever's in front of him off. He only uses that rarely, though, and it makes sense, because spiders can be pretty strong, superhuman strength, right? And that's what people don't understand. That's why I say this all the time. Like, Spider-Man is the slash, like he is the okay. So Marvel is a Spider-Man, and DC's is Superman's, right? And both of those characters, Superman and Spider-Man, they are those iconic people, and those iconic people are very similar. And I say this all the time. They are similar. You can sit there and you can bullshit me all you want. Okay, so what? Spider-Man can't fly. So what? Doesn't have eye beams coming out of his eyes. So what? He's not as strong as Superman. So what? The point is that those are not just the main people in their stories, but those are their best selling people. They are their Boy Scouted kids, and those are the people that those are the main two ones that they love, that people love from those sides. Those are the most iconic superheroes ever. Done. I had to get that out of the way. So that's what I'm saying. He had to knock him out as hard as he can. I felt like he pulled punches because he was trying to save Gwen. Don't pull your punch. Knock him out. Go full through it with it, and then save her. But he doesn't do that. Instead, he's sitting here, he's struggling with him because he doesn't want to hurt him with no fucking reason. After you just endanger your girlfriend. No, all bets are off. You're not my friend no more. I'm breaking your neck. It's over, bitch. So he's got her. So he's got her web. The machine comes, cuts the web. He freaks out, jumps forward after he knocks Goblin finally out, and he's like, they're both free falling down this bell tower. And if you guys remember the original comic book, this shit was actually on a bridge. They should have done this on a bridge. They didn't do this on the bridge. They did it in a stupid area. He webs her. He pulls it. Here's what they do. Here's what Sony changed. Her head hit the back of the ground, so that he wasn't responsible, because in reality he just ran out of time. That's the fact of the matter. The reality of that death is he ran out of time because her head hit the back of it and she died. And I think that was a pretty cheap way of killing off a character. Because one of the biggest, cheapest ways to kill off a character, a main character, as a matter of fact. Even though the way she did die on that bridge was pretty cheap, there was a difference. In the comic book, when he webbed her, remember, this is just nothing but ocean underneath them. He webbed her, and what really happened was the whiplash killed her. It snapped her back or her neck, and she died instantly. That's what happened. And then that was his responsibility about what he did. But this movie tries to make it so it wasn't his fault, which I hated, because in reality it was, even though he tried his best. So then I guess he just takes him to jail. I don't know why they didn't do no morality thing, because that's when you could have had his dad come, or had a flashback of responsibility when he just fucking would grab him and just is about to kill him. I felt like that would have been better, because he's still a kid, so he's gonna have those emotions. He didn't do it. He took him to jail. It pisses me off. And then again, they tried to do a sequel setup. It didn't work. It was ruined because Sony was pushing something. I don't know what it was. But now we're getting a reboot. Hopefully that this will be the one we want from Marvel. Hopefully Sony will get out of their asses so that they will be able to make the movie correctly. And I am officially done with these fucking reviews, because this one was the most terrible ever. The final verdict for The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Okay, I guess I can point out one more thing. I think the best part of this movie was the ending, where he does go up against Rhino with that little kid, where that little kid tries to stand up to the big Rhino guy. I think that was the one thing that kind of saved this movie, with kind of gave me points, because it was really well done. I liked it. It reminded me of me as a little kid, what I would do too. I would have done the same thing. That was the only up thing in this movie, was the end. The ending. If you cut off the parts of that, and then you just remember him coming back to fight the Rhino, then that's it. That's all you needed, was those few minutes, and that's what I liked about the movie. That was the one thing I liked about this movie. Everything else sucked ass. I guess I would give the movie, because of that scene, I would give it a 3 out of 10. It sucked, but they had only that one good part. So, if you guys enjoyed it, leave a like, and keep rocking and rolling.